When you add a new sport to any game, it's important to get the physics and controls down pat, but that ride is only as good as its surroundings. So today, we're diving into Riders Republic Dev Diary 3 and the new designs coming to the game in Season 8. Welcome back to episode 90 of the Riders Report.
Before we get started today, we want to recognize our existing YouTube members. A special thank you goes out to executive producers Bonecrusher 2D, Coach 34, and my mom, co-producers Captain Snowbeard and Kilavepa, and our fans and Fans Plus.
If you'd like to become a member for as low as 99 cents a month and help support our channel, you can hit join below to learn more about perks like early access to the Riders Report, emojis and badges, a members-only video per month, sneak peeks, and more.
Season 8 of Riders Republic is dropping on September 26, and it will be bringing the skateboard replay mode, a new area called the Deck, and much more. There are going to be new editions of the game to buy, as well as the DLC for the skate content. But before that happens, right now, Riders Republic has a sale going on for Back to School. You can check out the shop in-game and get up to 60% off some of the most wanted outfits and gear.
Now, this is the kind of transparency that I think a lot of us wanted at the start when this game came out with the blog posts that they were rolling out. But these dev diaries are hitting really hard, and I'm really happy that they're coming out before we record each week's episode, so we're able to give a deeper dive into them the same week that they come out. But Riders Republic Dev Diary Episode 3 meets with the art directors and some of the graphic designers of the upcoming DLC, the Deck, coming with skateboards here in late September. And it's just a really cool in-depth look as to the artwork and the surroundings and just creating this new part of the map.
It's really cool at the beginning too to see Baptiste. He's a content designer on the game where he's talking, and then you see them in a skate park where he's using a camera to kind of take photos. You can see the sound crew in the background too with the microphones. He's using some sort of gadget that looks like a periscope or a monoscope to measure something, and then they're back in the studio looking at pictures and kind of putting those designs into the game. So cool to see what they do to get some of these ideas and then implement them.
Yeah, and I mean, just the open transparency, right? We're seeing where it comes from. And we did get a video way back in the beginning of the game with the BMX bikes when those were coming out. And we heard some of the noises during that, like the Foley work that they were doing. They had the riders on mocap suits, getting all of the capture for their physics and how they move on the bike. But then they were also, like you said, they're putting microphones up there and getting that actual audio from these same sessions. So seeing behind the curtain is always a blast, especially for us creators, graphic designers. Around the 130 mark in the diary this week, you can see the concept art for the entire all 6 districts that make up the Deck, the new skate district, skate what do you want to call it? Skate city, skate area that's coming to the game in Season 8. But you can really see, the overhead. I don't think we've seen a flyover like this to date.
No, and it's also cool to see how it's changed from this initial picture. It has all of the areas. You can see the X Games Park, but that looks a lot different from what it does in the concept art. And then we have the giant bowl area with the nice colorful ones. The shipping container village is there. The warehouse. I don't see any mention of vans in the concept
no,
art.
there is. It's about a minute 56. You're going to see the vans, but you do see that big quarter pipe, with the vans spelled out on there. So that looks like that's the main focal point. And then they obviously changed that wall, the checkerboard wall, to the long slats with the big Vans logo, like 80 feet above the park.
Yeah, but they it's cool to see that they have these different kind of distinct zones, which is what they talk about. They have some of those areas that are more corporate feeling with the traditional skateboard sponsors. And then they have the other ones that look more built by skaters. Or a good example is the shipping container area where the skateboarders came in and slowly added more and more ramps and rails and little features and giving it their own distinct flair. So it's a place that's kind of been lived in and experimented with.
Yeah, I really did like you mentioned the corporate versus the like punk, just like homebrew sections of this park. As a graphic designer, how exciting, how enriching is that as your task? Yes, you have to learn the corporate skate world. You need to learn the X Games, the vans, what it looks like to have a polished, sanctioned skateboard event and emulate that in the game graphically. But then you also need to learn urban art and graffiti tags and all of that, so from going from like suit skating to just punk back road skating is a really fun challenge for these graphic designers. And based off the concept art, based off of the alpha tests that we have had access to, they nailed it on the head. Like, I really feel like this park does feel like it was made by skaters for skaters, even though some of these artists may have never touched a skateboard in their life. Their goal was to make it seem so realistic and just so immersive that any rider would someday want to, eventually get on a skateboard themselves. I think they nailed it.
Yeah, and they talked too about how they came up with a lot of this street work and then decided which location that it would fit best in. So it seems like the team had some fun coming up with really cool graffiti designs, and then they worked together to see what spots they should put them in, what fits. I really like the volcano that goes up the quarter pipe and then continues up the wall of the shipping containers. And there's also one with the I don't know, aliens or robots that are all black and white with the gold designs on the back wall of the warehouse. It's just like a massive piece of art.
Yeah, I think my favorite was at 259. It was the bullseye, the yellow shipping container with the blue circles and like the power lines. For some reason, that just screams like Banksy to me almost. I really like all of the artwork that they have implemented here. Like we said, we've seen some in the game ourselves. We're seeing some concept art and some WIP footage. But there is going to be so much more to discover. All of the footage that we've seen online so far, all of these dev diaries that we've seen so far, don't even brush the surface. We've had some opportunities to skate around these parks, and every single nook and cranny has some sort of artwork, some sort of flair that reminds you where you are. You're not in a national park. You are definitely in a skating haven, whatever, safe space for skaters where creativity is allowed to flow. And with skateboard being just that, such a creative sport, it only, just pays homage to the sport by having the artwork and the surroundings follow suit. Ever been to a skate park, or you've ever been to an area, maybe not even a park, but where people skate, you've seen the graffiti, you've seen the tags. And what's one thing that we know about all of these areas? It's that those tags don't last forever, and they're not painted over. Sometimes they are, but usually they are tagged over, right? With either stickers or more graffiti. You're painting over. It's always changing. This is a very dynamic art form. It's not meant to be there forever. It's meant to be improved on or pushed on to the next thing. So in that King of the Hill mentality, I'm very curious to see if they do, how they change this on a dynamic basis. Are they going to allow, a photo contest or a design contest to people to add their artwork in here? Are they going to update it as the seasons change? There's a lot that they could do with artwork, and with artists in the game like Tesha, we know that there are community members that could compete in a contest like this, submit things, and actually do the game justice. I think that would be sick to see some community art posted up here in the seasons to come, 9, 10, 11.
I think they have a good opportunity for that, especially with what they do with the ridge, with the different seasons and the holidays. Mm-hmm. They have different little decorations and themes and twist some of the items there around a bit just to reflect what's going on. And I think this spot, the deck, will be one of the most popular for a long time after it releases. So they could do some pretty cool things, maybe with like Christmas lights and holidays and those decorations like you're talking about, maybe leaving some spaces open for more creative work.
I've also just noticed, I will leave it on this, talking about all of those Easter eggs and the different things that you can see throughout here. I'm just now realizing that they have shoes hanging from the power lines. That is, I don't know if that is an international thing, but here in America, we have so many shoes up on power lines, and I couldn't tell you why. It's just a thing that happens. But they nailed it on the head. That's awesome. Like I've seen this video so many times. We've actually been in these parks a couple of times, and I'm still discovering new things as we're going, even here right now. Season 8, the deck skateboarding, coming to Riders Republic September 26th. If you don't have it yet, you can pre-order the game. You can get all of this bundled up, ready to go. So you are skating with the rest of the community on the 26th in just a couple of weeks' time. Very exciting stuff. Can't wait to see what Riders Republic has in store for us this fall.
Over on our self-promo channel and our Discord server, we had quite a few submissions this week from Jumping Jack, so we've had his videos playing in the background for most of the episode. We also had a lot of pictures posted from Low Key Gaming, so we're going to pick our favorites. There's 8, yep, counted them right, 8 pictures that he posted this week, and I love the first snowboard one he posted. It has that like 90s color and the outfit. I mean, we got a pink and blue snowboard, green snow jacket, and just very bright colors, like a pop filter on top of it. And it looks like one of those things you would see on the cover of a snowboard magazine or maybe an advertisement in the 90s telling you to pick up this totally rad snowboard for the season.
Yeah, that Kemper board, that blue and pink Kemper board is rad. I did like the cotton candy sky one next to it, the second snowboard picture, but that's not my favorite. My favorite out of this bunch was I don't even know what to call this, the 50-50 on the quarter pipe with the UFO in the background. It's the one that's on screen right now. This one was my favorite. I loved all of the dark, the Mad Max orange with that stark blue contrast. That seemed to be the theme of this photo album, but just the composition of this one looking like it was someone that was right down on the base of that quarter pipe, looking up and taking a picture of one of their buddies in the bowl was something special. If you want to see all of the rest of Low Key Gaming's pictures from this album and from all of the other albums, you can head to our Discord server and under the self-promo channel. And we also have a new rider. I believe this is a new content creator that we're featuring on the play out for this week's episode.
Yes, we have more Tricks Battles videos. These ones are coming from Human Pudding, getting a victory in Tricks Battle. Seems like a lot of people are posting in Tricks Battle, so people still play it, and he got top spot, 200,000 points, and he's a part of Daggy's crew, it looks like. We know they are dangerous in the game.
Yeah, I'm still in the team that thinks Tricks Battles needs at least one more map. I think we need something new. I know it hasn't really been touched for a while, but devs, if you're listening, after we get this skateboard thing, all the skateboard mumbo jumbo out of the way, maybe we look back at Tricks Battle and come up with something next in the seasons to come. We'll see. Only time will tell, but it is that time again. Thank you for joining us for episode 90 out of our first 100 guaranteed episodes. Oh my God, we've done 90 of these episodes. We have 10 more to go before we might be switching things up. We're not going away. We just might be tweaking the format a little bit. That remains to be seen. But yeah, Mitch, 90 episodes under the same title. This is uncharted waters for the both of us.
Yeah, and I think we're pushing 180 episodes of Steep in Riders Republic, so we'll have to go to 110 to reach 200 episodes, and then we'll see where we go from there. But it's been a long time and a lot of fun.
Where does the time go? A special thanks to our YouTube members. As always, thank you to executive producers Bone Crusher 2D, Coach 34, and Mama Bell, along with co-producers Captain Snowbeard and Kill a Vapor, and our fans and Fans Plus.
And if you want to become a cool member just like them, it helps support the channel and all of the fun content we make. And you'll get early access to the show, emojis, badges, members only stuff. It's all listed below. But if not, just subscribe and you'll catch all of our videos as well. We post this every single week, Wednesday, 9 a.m. And we've been doing some more F1 streams, and we'll have some other fun stuff coming up soon.
Yes, I promise we haven't forgotten about the 2K live stream of the history of Nick and Mitch on YouTube. That will be coming soon. We just literally have no time in our schedules. Mitch is working football games on Saturdays. I am doing stuff on Sundays. And then on the off time, we also have side gigs that we're working. So it's just, we got a lot going on. We promise the 2K stream will happen. It will not go by the wayside. You will not want to miss that. Make sure you're subscribed. Stay up to date on all of the latest and greatest coming out from Nick and Mitch, including, like he said, the F1 content and that 2K stream that remains to be set on a date. Thank you very much for watching again. We'll see you same place, same time next week, right here for episode 91. I'm Nick.
And I'm Mitch.
And we'll see you on the slopes.